Alright, so we're going to come back to this thing now, and what we're going to do is we're going to actually throw the rest of the color in on this. I'm going to show you my little process for that. So we'll just jump right in. First thing I'm going to do, Control J. First thing I'm going to do is deselect whatever I had selected, hit Control J, make a copy of this. Want to save this thing just in case I screw up, or in case, I want to easily be able to select all these colors in case I change something. Probably not going to be an issue for this specific piece, but later on, if you're doing a full page or something that has a lot of different elements to it, a lot of different colors, you'll probably want to have that just for the sake of having it. So we're going to make another layer, and this will be the layer that our highlights will go to. The way I do my coloring, I try and start off with all of my darks. Like this will pretty much be the darkest that anything on this page will be. From here on, I just do lights, and maybe if I really feel like it calls for it, I'll throw in some other darks in there, but I like to work dark to light. Some people like to work light to dark. This just seems to be what works really well for me. So we're going to come in here, hit W for the wand, come up here, make sure contiguous is off, and drop this so that we catch all of this green color. We don't have to worry about the little spots in here that aren't really connected to anything else. That's what contiguous does. If it's connected, it'll get it. If you take contiguous off, it'll just grab everything that is like what you selected. So we'll come up here, hit Control H, hide the little lines. We're going to grab the gradient tool. We're going to grab this color here, pick lighter color for this so we can brighten that up, and let's see where we want to take this. And we'll take this down about here. That'll work. So what we're going to do right now, and this is kind of the important thing to do when you're coloring, is really for any kind of artwork, since I was really ambiguous, like I just did the line work, just threw this down here as kind of a character thing. I really didn't give any sense of where the lighting was coming from for this. I'm just going to pick that the lighting is going to be up here. We're going to throw this in real quick. I'm actually going to change this to screen because I'm lazy right now. And we're just going to make this bright real fast. And it's not going to be, oh, it's bright. But it's going to be bright enough that we get the feeling that this is where the light's coming from. And what this does, it kind of sets the mood, and it sets exactly where your highlights and stuff are going to fall for the rest of this thing. Alright, so from here, come in here, grab this color for the pants. Again, I'm trying to attack the biggest area first, because that's just how I'm rolling today. Alright, hit Control H to hide that stuff. Go back to G and come back to this layer. Let's see, and we're going to take this and knock it back to normal. So from here, we're just going to come in here, throw some of these easy, quick highlights in here. This is just kind of letting you know, like, hey, this is really easy to tell where the light's coming from now, because that's where the light's coming from. Didn't like that. Throw some of this in here. There you go. And you can use this part of it as much or as little as you want. It just kind of depends on what you're doing. For me, I'm going to say that's good. I'm going to swap over to the brush. Now, my brush is a little bit special. What you do is you come in to make the brush in this version of Photoshop. Come up to your tip, brush tip shape. Take your spacing, knock it all the way down. Put your hardness around 50. Come into Shape Dynamics, right here. Make sure that minimum diameter is set to 0% with pen pressure controlling it. Then come down to Transfer, and we're going to make pen pressure control this. And what that means is, see how the edges down here filled back in to full color? This is kind of like playing with your opacity, which we will also do for the brush. But you take this thing here, and it makes it to where when you come in, it's going to give you a bit more of a gradient. And that's kind of the feel we're shooting for right now, is a bit of a gradient. Let's knock this down a little bit more. There we go. All right, so come up here to your opacity for your brush, we're going to drop our opacity down around 15. I like 15% for some reason. Seems to work. So we'll come in here. We'll start adding some of our highlights. Now, to make your brush bigger or smaller really easily, I think they're the little ellipse keys. They're beside the P on the keyboard. And some make it small. One makes it smaller. One makes it bigger. And there you go. So we're just going to come through here where, you know, we kind of already set the highlights here using the gradient tool. All we're doing now is kind of refining some of this, adding a little bit more in here, just prettying it up a bit. And that's really what this is. That's what these colors are kind of for. They're to enhance, you know, the lines and stuff that we've already put down. That's another thing. Like, if you're going to do any kind of anything to your stuff, you want to, like to your artwork, you want to make sure that you're enhancing it. Now, granted, there's going to be a learning curve for everything, but just doing something for the sake of doing it, it's kind of not worth it. It's just like, you know, for comic books, like for telling a story, your goal is to tell a story. Your goal isn't to have a character have the most absurd musculature, or, you know, be like super accurate with every little thing. You know, I understand completely that people have different preferences and they have different stuff they like to see in their work and in the work of others, and, you know, that's what makes us all unique and sets every artist apart from every other artist. But when you start dealing with this stuff in any kind of commercial fashion, in any kind of, you know, hey, I want to make a living at this, hey, I want to try and make some money off of it, you know, I want my passion to be what I do for my living, you really have to take kind of a realistic approach to it and say, hey, I got to do what I have to do to get the job done. Because really, that's what people are paying you for. Like, if you're just doing it for fun, take your time, have fun with it, you know. I have different, you know, I have pieces that I work on for long periods of time, and I experiment with them, you know, and I learn different stuff, you know, try a different technique. I see somebody, like, if I watch a video like this, maybe I've never done, you know, this kind of thing before. If it's something I think's interesting, I'll go try it out, you know. Why not? But if I'm working on a piece that I'm getting paid for and I have a deadline for it, got to get it done. So we're going to come change this to screen now. This is probably what some of my friends who are actual colorists are going to not be happy about this, because they kind of don't like the screen tool. But for me, so once you've kind of put in, you got your darks through here, you've lightened up your light area, let's say we want to get just a little bit lighter. Instead of having to go through, pick a whole nother color, we change the color we already have to screen. By doing this, it lets us come in here and add some highlights and still kind of preserve that color feeling in here. Now, you kind of don't want to go too crazy with this. This is just to really pull out your brightest brights here and really enhance the sense of the lighting. If you're not enhancing it, if you're not making, you know, that stand out more, why are you worrying about it? So we're going to pull some of this along this edge here. It's kind of a little rim lighting effect. And then we're going to come on to the other side over here. Again, anything like this that you're doing, anything like this that I do, I try and do it, you know, kind of sparingly, because you don't want the whole thing, you don't want it to get washed out, and it will. If you use this the screen on your brush and you go over everything, it will wash it right out. Like there won't be any kind of tone in there. It'll just be shades of white, which, you know, can be useful for some stuff. For just doing basic things like this, it can be annoying. It can be a challenge. So, all right, I'm cool with what we have here pretty much. So there you go. There's some basic stuff there. Actually, you know what? Change this back to normal. I think I need to throw a little bit of something right in there. Yeah, there we go. Awesome. So now we're going to move on to another color. Let's see. What do you say we grab? What do you say we grab this? We'll grab that. Control H. Control, or you don't have to hit Control. Just hit G. We're going to grab this color here, and then we're going to lighten it up a bit. And we're going to take this that way a little bit. Jump in here with our gradient tool. Again, light source is here. Just pull it from your light source. This stuff's kind of in a weird little area, but it's still going to have light hitting it. It's just, you know, you got to look at the. You just got to hit it with some light. I had something somewhat clever I was going to say there, and then it just completely slipped out of my head. Alright, so we're going to go back to our brush tool now, set to normal, not to screen. We're going to pull in some of these highlights here. And you kind of follow the stuff that's a little lighter through here. You see all that cross-hatching and stuff. That's probably indicative that you don't need a lot of highlights there. That's kind of what line work is supposed to do. It's supposed to kind of tell you a little bit, at least, about where some highlights should or shouldn't be. There we go. So now we'll come back in. We'll swap this over to screen. And again, we're not going to throw a whole lot of this in here because it's really just not super needed. We're just going to try and enhance this a bit. Alright, now I'm going to catch this edge here. I'm going to catch this edge because this is directly in front of that light source. But then we're still going to come back in here and we're going to give this a little bit of light. We're going to try and give these little folds here just a little bit more highlight than they had. Throw this in, maybe on this back side just a hair. Give that a little bit of a rim lighting feel there, and make the little collar thing here just stand out a little bit. I think we got some stuff down here we can do. Alright. There we go. So let's move on. Move on. I'm going to grab the shirt. Check that color out. We're going to go a little bit more to the blue side with this one, the highlights on it. Control H, G, come back up to our not base layer. And you will end up coloring that layer. Most of the time, I lock it. That way, even if you try and color on it, once you've selected it, it doesn't work. But you will do that. Make no mistake, you will do that. And it will aggravate, and it will frustrate, but don't worry too much about it. Happens to everybody. Alright, so we got some color thrown in there, so now we're going to grab the brush. We're going to throw in, oh, it's on screen, so let's change that to normal. So we're going to throw in some brushy goodness here. Now, I'm going to instantly take this fold over for the cloth and highlight that a bit more than the other stuff, just because we can do that here. So we're going to drop this here, add some highlights in through this, just a little bit of highlight right there. I'm going to pull some right through here. Alright, and then we're going to go to screen. Again, I'm going to take this top area here. Why do you go to lighten? Don't go to lighten, go to screen. Good. There we go. And, you know, going to pull some of this in through here. Here's our light source. Here's our light source. There we go. And we're going to pull some through here. And then we're going to take a little bit over here. Not a lot. Put that there. Maybe take just the edge of this. And lighten that up again, because we can. And, okay, don't ever be afraid to do something that wouldn't necessarily happen in reality, because you're trying to tell something of a story here. Even if it's just a single character doing a, really not much of anything, you're trying to tell a story, and you can forego some realism to enhance your story. If you think that something needs a little bit extra flair here, or a little bit extra flair there, that's cool, man. Like, if you want something to be like photorealistic, go take a picture. And for some people, like, that's half the fun, is making this as realistic as possible. But not really for me. And even those people, they tweak. They tweak stuff hard, because you got to make it work. Because there's some stuff, like if you're trying to draw straight up from a picture or color straight up from a picture, it just looks weird. Like, reality looks weird sometimes. Accept that, get past it, and move on. All right, let's go down here to the shoes. All right, so we're going to take this down this way a bit. Oh, I'm going to grab that. G. Look at that. Alright. Hit B. Make sure we're set to normal. Good, good. Alright. Throwing some highlights in here. Oh, look at them highlights. Look at them shoes. I kind of like the color on these shoes. Alright, that's good. Come up here to screen. We're just going to throw in a little bit of highlight in here. A little bit here. A little bit there. Now, I'm really not, at this exact moment in time, too concerned with the fact that this leg right here would be blocking a lot of the light coming through here. And in a minute, I'm going to show you why. And it's kind of cheap, and it's kind of cheatish. But you know what? That's fine. I guess we could have gone with something more dramatic other than it's fine. But really, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine to do some cheatish type things when you're trying to get the job done. Ooh, wrong thing selected. Let's try this again. Select our purple there, Control H, G, come to this layer. Aha. Go B, set it back to normal. Come in here, drop some of this in, just a little bit there, just a little. There we go. A bit of highlight there. Now, honestly, I like the way that looks. I don't think I need to hit it with the screen, just because I really like the way that shade of purple is. So we're going to do it just to see how it looks. If we don't like it, we always have Control Z. Yeah, it's not bad. That is not bad at all. That's cool. We'll roll with that. Alright, so next up, come in here, we're going to grab this belt. Control H, G. Oh, don't need that. We're going to grab that color. Ooh. I don't know. Let's knock that up a little bit. I think it's going to look kind of weird, but we'll find out. Yeah, it looks a little weird, but that's cool. Maybe she has a green belt on. Maybe I don't know enough about fashion not to give her a green belt. How about that? Okay, so let's come in here, add a little bit of highlight there, a little bit of highlight there. I'm leaving this on screen because there's so little area here to work with that I'm just going to hit the most highlightiest parts and move on to the rest of the belt. So W is going to grab that. Bring our color picker up. Let's see what we got here. So I may have went a little bit too desaturated there. You see how far over it is here? There's almost no color in it. That's okay, because when we throw our highlights on there, we're going to give it some color. Come back up here. Now here's the fun thing about this gradient tool like this. You can make, I've got mine set to circle up here, by the way, this little thing here, and it's giving me just like a little bloom effect here. Now you can come in, stuff like this, like the little individual sections on her belt here for the little metal studs. You can come in here and you can make really small little circles here and save yourself a bit of time having to do a lot of individual work. And just by doing that, I mean, you don't really have to take it a whole lot further than that to give it a pretty good little feel here. So we're going to come back in here a little bit. I said that, and now I'm going to do it anyway. We're going to add just a little bit in here. Doesn't have to be a lot at all. Or it can be, you know, you could make that the focus of your piece if you wanted to make it that. I do not. That's okay. Honestly, I kind of like the shoes being the focus of this, which it looks like they are. And I am so okay with that. It may not even be funny here. Alright, so we're going to take this. We've changed this over to screen because we are dealing with something that's slightly metallic. So it's always good to have some highlights on the metallic stuff. Yeah, and there's no need to go super overboard with it. I'm probably putting a little bit too much time into this little part of it here, just for the sake of, I don't know why. I'm just doing it. There we go. That's good enough for me. I only have like super small bouts with what anyone may consider ADD, or, well, I guess that just gave that away. I only have really small bouts with like OCD type stuff, and I don't really call it OCD. I just don't know how else to explain it. Some stuff I just have to get in and tweak and mess with. Alright, so now we're going to go into our skin tone now. Well, that was the plan. Let's try this again. We're going to go into our skin tone now and drop some of this in here. And skin tones just give me problems for days. I am not good with them. They're kind of like the problem area for me. I'm working on it. One day maybe I'll get it right. But for now I kind of do the best I can with it and tweak stuff here and there. Like right now, she's looking very orange to me. And I don't think I appreciate this even a little. But I'll tell you what you can do. And this is what I normally end up doing. If we're going to bring this in here. Okay. A little cute little nose. Alright. So this may not be the exact color that I want, but I'm fairly happy with having it dropped in like that. So now we're going to hit B. We're going to bring our brush in here. We're going to change this back to normal. We're going to throw in some of our additional highlightses. Again, another very technical term. Don't feel bad if you get lost. And we're going to pull this in through here. Just keep coming in here, fill this in a bit, then we're going to take and just give a little bit of a rim light here. Yeah, it's cheating, but it still works. There we go. So, you know, got some decent amount of color here. Again, I still feel like this is way Oompa Loompa'd, but now we're going to come in here, change this to screen, and bring in some of the higher lights. Oh, highlights. They're so fun. So much better than base coloring. Jeez. Even if you don't know what you're doing, this is still a lot more fun than dropping in base colors. A little highlight up in here. There we go. Oh, that may have been too much. Yeah, we'll live. Alright, so we've got that down. We're going to go ahead and we're going to move on to the hair. I'm going to come back to that skin tone because I'm really not happy with it. I'm just trying to figure out exactly what to do with it. And in the meantime, we'll do something else. We will color her hair. This is one of the reasons I didn't like that skin tone, because it's way too close to this hair tone. Like, geez, look at that. So, we're going to brush this a little bit, see if we can make this look a little bit better. Hair might be another thing I'm not so comfortable with on the whole coloring side. Or just in general. Hair's tricky, man. Hair is just not the most fun thing in the world for me to do. Some people, they do hair like it's just nothing. They're just like, oh yeah, hair. Here, give me 2 seconds and let me make everyone in the world jealous of hair. But I'm not that person. All right, so we got that down. Come in here, change this over to screen. Trying to add in a little bit more highlight. Here, we'll do some of this tricky highlight stuff. We throw that in there. Ta-da! And yep, yeah, we're definitely gonna say I've just cheated, and yeah, cheating all over that hair. Yeah, we can still follow this line form a little bit. Throw those in there, and we'll highlight the eyebrows a bit. Cool. So let's see what we can do with the skin tone. So, we'll see the difference. Oh, that's awful. That's not too bad. Awful, not too bad. So we're going to roll with that for now. So now, hey, look at that. We zoomed in a little bit. We'll do some of this finer detail work here. Some of the facial features. Come in here. Throw that out of the way. Oh. So it looks like the lip color is too close to the skin tone. So we'll drop the tolerance down a bit more. Move out of the way. Hey, look, it grabbed the lips this time. Good. Now, we'll probably have to delete this. Hey, look at that. There we go. So, come and grab this color. Grab a bit of a highlight color. Drop some of that in there. Come in with a brush. Yeah, I left it on screen because this is little fine detail stuff, and I am cool doing it this way. So let's grab her eye now. Oh. Alright. Control H, G, come back over here. Now I'm going to cheat, and I'm going to add some more white in here for the eyes. Just like white. That's okay. Don't put too much in there and it doesn't look awful. Ooh, got to lighten up them teeth. Yeah, that's alright. And you know what? We'll take some of this same color here that we used for the hair and we'll do the eyes with it. Boo. Oh yeah, it is the same color. That's cool. Do G. Give the eyes just a little bit of light. And there you go. We have successfully colored this thing fairly quickly. And that's pretty much the whole process I used. I mean, you can drop in other stuff. There are some other techniques, like let's say you want to give this like a shiny feel. Watch this. This is fun. Take your lasso tool. Go ahead and do this on another layer, just in case you don't like how it looks. Let's say you want her pants to be shiny. I don't know. Let's go with this little thing, or the shirt. Let's go with the shirt being shiny. I like a shiny shirt. So come in here with this. Select this little highlighted areas here. Control H, and then go back to your gradient tool. Now this time we're going to set it to screen. All right. Grab this color. And you can give it kind of a like a sleeker type look. You can come in here again, make this area a little bit smaller, and you can give it like kind of a shiny feel. Like if you're having to do something that's like armored or like more of a plastic or a leathery look, you can throw stuff like that on there, and it's pretty cool. Alright, that's it for this one. Thanks a lot.